This is the fifth follow-up of the experiment that I started early this summer, and the purpose of the experiment was to increase tomato yields by cloning of tomato plants. Cloned plants fruit early because their chronological age is the same as that of mother plant, and I have a very good example to prove that, which I'll show you in a few minutes. For those who have not seen my previous videos, I've been taking cuttings from 2 tomato plants and re-rooting them in water and have been replanting them in soil. Then my success rate in re-rooting improved dramatically with experience since I started, and it is well more than 95%. I would say close to 99% now. The experiment started with 3 plants, but one of the mother plants showed signs of leaf curl disease, so I had to destroy that plant and the daughter plants cloned from that plant. Tomato growing season where I live, which is southeastern part of Australia, starts in November, late November, as compared to March, April in northern hemisphere. This is 5th of February today, and it is almost middle of the season. And not all plants that you see here are cloned. Some were grown from seeds and a couple were bought from nursery. However, most of the plants are cloned from these, and at the moment I have around 70 cloned plants. Most are fruiting, with the exception of some that were cloned very recently. Some of the plants that you see here are daughter plants, some are granddaughter plants, means the suckers were taken from daughter plants to clone new plants. And I also have a few granddaughter plants in this short period of time. The most of the fruit that you see here is thus in a sense grown from 2 tomato plants only. This shows how much potential nature has to offer. And as you can see, the plants are healthy, and there's a potential for me to take another 50 to 60 more cuttings. However, I have no space left. I had to give away some plants to friends. So this is it. For the purpose of this experiment, I had to plant them really close against the guidelines, and was not expecting a good yield for that reason. The height of the bed is also very small. As you can see, there's only 3 to 4 inches of soft soil underneath, and there's a very hard clay below that, and you can see plants have not grown very tall for that reason. However, I'm not disappointed with the yield. I roughly counted nearly 300 big and small fruits a couple of weeks ago. Some have already been picked up, and this is the mid-season only, so I'm expecting similar number more, if not less. Most plants have a very good yield. For example, count the number of tomatoes on this plant. This is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16. I think you can count 20 on this one. This one you can see has a small fruit very close to the ground. This is a granddaughter plant. The cutting had small flowers at the time of re-rooting. One flower managed to develop a fruit which is growing well since it was transplanted in soil. Although the potential is there, however, I'm thinking of stopping the experiment, partly because of lack of space and partly because I've grown some seedlings of Siberian tomatoes which I have never grown before, and apparently they perform really well in the winter. So I want to see if I can have some fresh tomatoes in early winter when other plants have completed their lifespan. Also, I've made an Excel sheet to count the number of fruit just for the sake of interest. This is, however, will be a total of number of fruits